Hi, welcome back to TMI, Torah, Marriage, and Intimacy with me, Lauren Hofstetter. And today we have someone that you guys have all been asking for. I'm so excited to welcome Kayla Haber Goldstien to TMI. Kayla, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Kayla Haber Goldstein. I am an interior designer. I wrote a book called Questioning the Answers, which led to an organization called Questioning the Answers, which led to other organizations. And I'm a rebbetzin of a shul and a mom. I don't know. That's me.
Kayla's a lot of things. It's
A lot
awesome.
of things.
Literally so many
All the
things. And
people.
it happens to be, yeah, I was going to say, Kayla, we took the Mirkaz Eden course together.
Of course, I know. No, I forgot.
Yeah. Right. Like we were in the course. It was
I know.
just so funny that like
We were
we were
both the
in the
most
course
talkative
together
people in the course.
for sure. For sure. Because again, because I think we're both very much the type where like we don't just take things for face value. Like, no, explain it
Yeah.
to me. Thank
I
you.
was like, 1 second, I have questions. Hold on.
Right.
I'm
Always, by the
questioning
way,
the
always.
answers. Uh,
Literally, always. And
exactly.
especially when it comes to something like Nida, right? For sure. Okay.
Mhm.
So the topic for today is I'm sure, I know many people, because yes, I wanted to reach out to you before this actually happened, but I got after you did Meaningful Minute, which was amazing. I got tons, like floods of DMs saying like, you have to have Kayla Haber Goldstein on. You have to have her on. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. It would be amazing. So
Why
I
are
said,
people so
okay,
nice? Oh
great.
my
Like I know
gosh.
that's great. So I'm like, okay, great. But like, what are we talking about? I don't know. So then I watched your Meaningful Minute and it was great. And I was like, you know what? Let's talk about like Kayla's been through so much in terms of her own personal growth and navigating marriage within personal growth. Let's talk about that. So, the topic for today is where do I end and where do we begin as a couple? How to not lose yourself within your marriage and still maintain a sense of self while also becoming a couple. Because I don't know if you agree with this or not, and you for sure know where this came from. It's somewhere within Judaism. That whole concept of like two halves of a whole come together and become one. Like that
Right,
concept bothers me so much. It bothers me so much though. Like why can't two whole people choose to be together and like hold hands and walk? Like, do you know what I
right. It's
mean?
like
Like I don't want to be half
Ishtokugufa, like
person.
we're one body. Yeah.
Right. So I want like two whole, emotionally whole human beings that can come together and walk together. So, okay, let's start. So,
Go for it.
would you say would you say marriage is about a shared identity and a shared life?
I'll tell you what, like I think you're right that both sides have to have their own life, but when we were the original creation was some one human being that was both male and female. Hashem separated them and made them face each other because you need to see each other. You can't like be one individual who's just you're each doing your own thing, but like you're creating a half of a unit. You need to be separated, see each other, like what each other has to offer, be fully independent, and then you can come back together. So this was like Hashem's original plan, and then like kind of like, oh, this isn't good. Lo tovei ot adam levado, and then Hashem separated us, turned us to face each other as their kenegdo, and then they came together. So it's extremely important that we be independent, self-standing individuals who can live life on our own. But there is a concept that shouldn't be the goal. The goal is that I should be completely and totally self what's the word? Like, I can handle myself, but the goal shouldn't be that I should be alone. I should do that together with someone else because with someone else, with a partner who has the same goals in life and the same ideas, and we want to build something together, you can go so much farther than if you were alone. So there's like, it's both. You
No,
have to have
for yeah,
both.
right, right.
You have to have
But
both.
then, like, my clinical hat is saying to me, where does the line come in terms of it becoming a codependent relationship? What do you think?
Right. So the thing is that you can have the same goal and get there differently, and that's okay. And also, you can have different goals that are within your goal. Like, we can both want to have a house full of kids. That could mean 2 kids and that could mean 10 kids. Like, you have to come to a compromise into a middle ground. But if you're codependent, then you're basically saying, my worth is only worthy if you or think I'm worthy. And I'm only alive and existing and here so long as you validate my experience in my life. But when you're not in a codependent relationship, you're saying, I'm valid. And it's like sounds so toxic. It's like, I don't need you, but I really want you. And it's not like, if you don't serve me, if you don't fill what I want you to fill, then I'm just gonna leave you and I'm just gonna divorce you because you're not giving me anything. Instead, it's like, okay, I'm going to be the best wife I could be. You're going to be the best husband you could be. And together we're going to build something beautiful. Obviously, this isn't a healthy relationship. I'm not talking about people who are not in a healthy relationship. But if you can have that situation where you're both committing to see the value in each other while seeing the value in yourselves and build something together, then it's amazing. It's extremely hard. You need to remember to do this like every week, but it's worth it. It's so
Right.
worth it.
I mean, I think also a huge difference when it comes to something like codependency would be want versus need. Meaning, I don't need you to validate my experience. I don't need, but like, it would be nice. Like, I want you to. You're my husband. I want you to recognize my accomplishments. Like, more so like that. But like, it's not, I'm not going to like get depressed and bury myself in a hole if you don't. It's just a conversation that we
Right,
then
you
have.
have to be confident, you have to know, and it takes a lot of work to get there, which is a lot of what I did. You have to know your self-worth. And like it's very interesting because on the podcast, it was very much like, oh my God, she went through everything and he just stood by her. And the reaction that I got from so many people, like so many people, was, of course you could do this because you had your husband and you have the best husband in the world. So you're the luckiest girl in the world. I don't have a husband like your husband, so I can't possibly have the same story. I can't have the same ending as you. I can't be happy. Like it's not possible because I
Well,
don't
you
have the
didn't
husband you
know.
have.
That's hilarious. It's not like you knew that this was gonna happen. Or like you knew that he would be okay. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how are you supposed to know at the time?
Even more than that, he wasn't this husband at the time. It took a lot of growth
Right.
from him also to become this person. We're interviewing this interview. My son is 9 years old. It's 9 years later. Like it wasn't like on day one, Shmuel was like, okay, it's okay. I'm here for you, lovely. Like, no, he had to go work on himself also and like decide, like we came to a decision together that we're staying married. That decision only happened when my son was like 11 months old. It wasn't like day one. We were like, oh my gosh. And like, we had to both work on ourselves to be people who don't need like, I am valid, and it took him a lot shorter than me because he comes whatever, like, childhood trauma. But he like, we both had to work on ourselves to come to a place where, like, my existence and my experience in this world is valid whether you think or not, and I would love to find a place where we can overlap and work this out. That doesn't mean that we always
Right.
overlap.
Just the fact he was
Most of the
willing,
time, we don't.
just the fact he was willing. Right. But just the fact that he with something I find that with something like religion, because some people view it as like so black and white that they won't even come to the table. Like, it's my way or the highway. Sorry if you don't like that. Well, you're not my dad. Like, sorry, like you're
Okay,
not Hashem, you're not my father.
is this
There
your,
has to be
like
compromise.
is this right, is this woman is your husband, or by the way, a lot of the people who reached out to me, the husband's the one who's not religious. It seems to be more common, but, like,
Yeah,
I
I get
think,
that a lot.
like, okay, is your spouse your, like, chavrusa, or is your spouse somebody that you love? Like, it really come boils down to, like, I just don't wanna live without this person. Regardless of there's no like, in the Torah, we have a concept, ahavah she'en there's a love that isn't reliant on anything else. There's just a love that is just existing by itself. It just I love you just because I don't have a reason why I love my husband. I'm sure everyone else can tell me 1,000 reasons why they love my husband, but I don't have a reason why I love my husband. I love
Ex
my husband because I love my husband. So there's no reason in the world that would make me stop loving him. And he feels the same way about me, which I am aware is I'm extremely lucky that I have a relationship where we're committed to each other in that way. And I know, but that doesn't mean that from day one it was like, I love you, so we're just gonna work this out. It was like, I love you, but is this even feasible? And also like a lot of hurt, a lot of this isn't fair, a lot of this is crazy, a lot of you push too far. There's also other things that happen in marriage besides for religion. There's other fights that happen that whatever. Like it takes time, but when you love someone and you don't want to live without them, you figure out a way to make whatever it is work. If this person you married them because of their religious status, then yeah. If you married someone because they're rich and then they lose their job, are you going to leave them? If yes, then you don't love them. It's the same idea. It's the same exact thing.
Right.
Just because we put such a focus on
Right.
religious, but like there's communities that put a focus on money or looks.
Right. You know what's also interesting, I think for sure. And for sure. And I think also this whole concept, which is it's like a little bit off topic, but not this whole concept that like you're gonna meet your person and it's just gonna be natural and there's not gonna be any work. That's such a lie. Anytime I mean, like marriage is work. Not saying that it's not also fun. Not but like to keep a
It's not
relationship going through
possible. It's
good
not
times.
possible. It's
Right.
not
You
possible.
have to though. I think that this I don't know what it is about I don't know when this like generalization became a thing that like it should just be natural. Like it's not. It's typically two very different
Listen,
people
you
coming
have
together
2
that then
people.
have to learn
Y you grew up in 2 separate houses with 2 separate cultures, with 2 separate family dynamics, with 2 separate communities. Like, me and my husband grew up, I don't think you could find 2 people like, literally on every aspect, we grew up completely differently, and then you're in the same house, you try to run a Pesach Seder together, and nothing's the same. You try
right.
to run a house sale,
Right.
nothing's
I
the
have the
same.
same
How we're gonna raise the kids, nothing's the same. Like, everything's different. Everything is different, and you have to figure out how to get along with this person all the time, and they live with you in your
right.
bedroom. Like, you never get a break. It's hard. It's
Exactly.
not gonna be easy.
Exactly.
I don't care how
It's
amazing
I
your
just think this
husband is,
whole
not easy.
concept of no, for sure. Meaning I agreed. It's just funny that this concept of like it being natural and things will just fall into place. No, they don't. You have to actually work at things in life that you want to put effort into. That's part of life. You know what I'm saying? I think that there's a misconception that's not a thing. Um, so
By the
let me
way,
ask
if it
you,
was a thing,
we'll
if,
back to
like,
topic.
imagine that, like
Yeah.
I think there's a delay, but imagine that, like, you get married and it's super duper easy and everything's fine. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't want that. Like the relationship I have now after we work through things is so much deeper and so much better and so much more special. Like I would never want like to have the relationship that I had in the beginning of our marriage when everything was like fluffy fluff to stay the whole time. Like that's not sustainable. And by the way, I had somebody at my job table who said, "I don't understand like we never had a fight." And then all of a sudden one day she said she doesn't feel connected. We never had a fight. And I'm like, "You need a fight. You need to work things out.
Do
You
you
need
ever
to be
talk
real
about
with
things
each
that
other.
are
You need
hard?
to."
How did you never have well, not even a
Right.
fight,
You
even if you have meaning yes, fighting is very normal in a marriage, but I'm thinking even to have like a controversial conversation, like what does that mean? How have you never had a disagreement with your husband? That's so odd. I
Oh,
don't
maybe
know.
they had a disagreement. I don't know. Maybe that's not what they meant by fight. But I like for me, the working through things and coming out, it's so satisfying when you come out on the other side and you figured it out and you found the compromise and you figured out how to like make each other feel loved and heard and the next day, like I don't know, like it's just such a better relationship. So like I would be really like I like it that we had to work through things and like this fairy tale that like it's just going to be happy ever after and you're never going to disagree with this person. It doesn't even sound like a fairy tale. Just sounds
Right,
fake.
it just sounds dumb. It sounds like doesn't sound like right, it just sounds like artificial. And then, like, you're
Yeah.
married for 30 years living that way, then what? Like, what do you have? You don't have any, like, it's, like, almost like those tougher like, it's very easy to communicate with your husband during times that are easy. But during times that are hard, I feel like that's where the building blocks of marriage are developed. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's where you guys learn
Yeah.
how to be there for each other and scaffold each other and grow and, like, otherwise, like, you just stay like, you know? Like, how is that it's
You
not
also
fulfilling.
really get to know each other. You also really get to know each other because 'cause you're being honest, you're being real, like, you see every part of
Exactly.
this person, you really get to know them, and by the way, do you know what the biggest, craziest thing is that, like also, I just wanna clarify that when I say fight, I don't mean that you should be, like, beating each other up. Yeah, obviously, there's, like, rules to
Oh,
fighting,
no, no, no. I
but
mean,
I'm
verb
just
right, right.
saying.
Oh, thank you for that clarity. We are not advocating for physical abuse. We're just talking about verbal arguments and not like screaming or being verbally abusive either. Like
Right, right,
regular,
like, let's
like maybe a
yeah.
little bit more intense than argument.
Right. No, you could be hurt.
Okay,
You
but
could
yeah,
say,
you
"I
were
need
saying
space.
sorry.
I need to go for a drive. I need to go for a drive." Like, you could like, whatever, but my point was that this, like,
Mhm.
idea of, like, after I, like, was at my absolute worst and my husband still loves me, it's like something you can't imagine, and my husband feels the same way, and I'm sure that a lot of people who are in a marriage where they, like they were like really not okay and screaming and upset. And then they make up and it's like, wait, you saw me in a way that no one else in the world sees me and you still want me? Like, that's cool. That's cool.
Right. Yeah,
He
no,
might not
I
want me
mean,
that
I
night,
agree with
but he
you,
wants
meaning
me.
right. Yeah, I think so also that, yeah, I've been with my husband over 20 years, and he's definitely seen me transition through tough times and different stages of life and things like that, becoming a mother, like, all those things multiple times, and just that, like, he still wants to, like, chill with me is really nice. And, like, there's no world where I was nice always, you know what I right, you know what I mean? Like, there's no
No.
world where, like, I was, like, this, like, peachy keen, like, "Oh, like, come cuddle," like, no, I was definitely mean.
Yeah.
Like, let's be clear, like, he's
By the way,
definitely had
so
the
was he.
quality. Right,
No?
right. He
So
so
was
it's
he.
funny, he gets, so my husband's interesting, I don't know your husband, but my husband will get so he's not like me, like, I'll get hot, like, I'll get angry and get, like, yelly. I come from, like, my father was Israeli, that's the kinda house I grew up in, whatever. He grew up with, like, super Hungarian parents in Borough Park. So, like, he'll just, like, whisper, but, like, mean whispers. We're, like,
Yeah.
so
So
opposite in that way.
it's very funny because we did this interview with Tipura Gradko, which, like,
Mhm.
we spent the interview talking about all the ways that I failed him as a wife and how he still stood by me. Nobody talked about the ways that like, sucked as a husband
I was gonna
sometimes
say
because everybody does. Like, nothing against him. I love him. He's amazing. But, like, nah, we didn't talk about his problems. So
no, but I'm
obviously people saw this hour and they were like, they just decided that they know everything about him and everything about me. And it's very interesting because, yes, he's extremely soft spoken, he's extremely loving, he's extremely non judgmental, he's extremely kind. I have a wonderful husband. But there have been times, of course, that he can, get angry or whatever. And it's like so funny to me. Like, what, you think that, like, I didn't see him at his worst? You're seeing him at his best and you love him and that's great. But, like, I saw him at his worst and I still love him. And, like, that's
I mean,
something
you know what's
beautiful.
I right. You know what I find, and I think this would be something that you resonate with? A lot of times, like, I'll sit with a couple, and they'll just be like, "He just knows how," or "She just knows how to drive me crazy. My spouse just know." Yeah, because they're your soulmate, so they know how to press on every single button to make you so mad. Like, the person that is the
Yeah.
closest to you know what I right? The person that's the closest to you and loves you the most also knows how to make you the most angry, and it's just the way things are. It just is, and, like, you have to
It
and part of navigating.
one second. I'm gonna push back on that for a second because it is the way things are and
Go
it's
for it.
true. And in the beginning of our marriage, like, we pushed each other's buttons a lot. But what happens is that you learn, oh, this triggers this person, this hurts this person. And even though it comes naturally to me, and even though it's something I don't see an issue with, I'm not going to do it. Like, I even tell you the funniest thing: if I leave food out, if I take food out of the fridge and I don't put it away like right away, my husband, like, he has this thing with, like, old food. He can't handle it. He can't gets so annoyed. So, like, I think it's ridiculous and it's annoying for me that, like, I'm pouring myself a bowl of cereal, I'll put the milk away when I finish eating, and, like, I didn't grow up in a clean house, like, I don't know. And he's like,
Kayla, the
"The milk is
exact
gonna
same
go
thing
bad."
happened to me yesterday, I promise. The exact same thing ha he took the milk while I was pouring it into my bowl. I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, "I'm putting it away." I'm like, "I'm gonna lose it." Like, "I didn't ask you to touch the milk." Promise
I
it happened to me
know, I
yesterday.
know, I know. So I learned,
Oh my
now I put away the food. Okay, I put away my food right when I take it out. And the funny thing is that when I put away the food, it's like I feel like I feel like I'm, like, I don't know, like I'm buying him a gift. Like, it feels like I feel so close to him, even though he's not home. I feel so close to him when I put away the food right away because I'm like, I'm doing this for him because he wants me to, and that makes me feel like more love for him. Like, I'm in a happy relationship. So, like, yeah, I feel stupid. Like, whatever. I put it away 5 minutes later, nothing's gonna happen.
But it's his
But,
acts
like,
of
whatever, it makes him
service.
happy.
It's
Right. So
right.
so when
It's
we
acts of
yes, we know how to push each other's buttons, but when we learn what each other's buttons are and then out of love don't push them and make sure not to push them, your relationship is like S. And I find that a lot of times people will sit and tell me, he does this, he does this, he does this, he does this. I'm like, why should I do anything for him when, and like, they're waiting for the other partner to make them feel good, do things for them, do their red lines, do what they want. And then if they earn it, then I'll do all the things that they want me to do. And, like, everybody's busy, like, giving checks and balances of, like, how much did I give and how much did they give, and are they reciprocating, and why should I be first, and all of these, like, khashbonot, and I'm just like, "Just be a good spouse and put out good energy because if you're married to a healthy individual who doesn't obviously not, then they will feel that and they will reciprocate it and it's not like I have told this to a lot of people, it has seen 100% success rate. Like it is not a stama baba maisa. If you stop worrying so much about what they're doing for you and you start worrying about what you're doing for them, it will change the whole thing, and then all of a sudden marriage isn't about, like, a give and a marriage isn't about, like, you give me, I give you, it's or a transaction, it's just about, "I love you and I wanna be make your life better. I
Right.
wanna make your life better because I
Okay,
love you."
so let me ask you a question. In your specific situation, because I think that your the meaningful minute went so viral because it's happening to everyone in either from not everyone, a lot of couples, either in from the husband is, making different decisions in terms of religion, the wife is making different decisions in terms of religion, they didn't come into the marriage that way, etc. At what point do you think representation becomes emotional policing? Like if let's say, I don't know, what do you I can't come up with an example this second. An example of something, let's say you'd be out and about when you were going through that struggle, when you were in the middle of trying to, find yourself and figure out where you wanted to hold in from kite. Did was there ever a time where it became like policing or he was like, "This is embarrassing, you can't do this," or things like that?
Yeah, we actually had, like, a really big fight about it, because he took a job as a rabbi, the and our first Shabbos in that shul was my son's bris. So we moved to Brooklyn, I had a baby the next day, and then that Shabbos was the bris, and then like, I had a baby Friday night. We moved Thursday, I had a baby Friday night, and then the next Shabbos was the bris. And I didn't want the job, I didn't wanna move to Brooklyn and whatever. Like, all of a sudden, I was a Rebbitzin. I wasn't from at all. By that point, by the time he was born, I wasn't religious, and it was extremely difficult, and I remember I was like he never said anything to me about the way I dressed. I intuitively, around his family and my family, dressed the way that they expected me to dress because I just didn't wanna deal with drama, but, like, I felt
Mhm.
like it was disrespectful to them, like, I didn't need to, like, piss them off that way, like,
That's
I
what I was
just
gonna
didn't feel the
say.
need.
Out of respect for your
It's just
family, right.
disrespectful, yeah, it was just disrespectful to them, like, why make them all uncomfortable? That's, like, very selfish, but and whatever, I also didn't live near them, like, I lived in America, they lived in Israel, like, it wasn't such a big deal, um, but
Mhm.
I remember I said something to him because he started wearing his bekisha. And I remember I was like, "I hate it. I hate your Bekisha. I want you to take it off. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Oh, you look so good in a suit. When you wear a Bekisha, it's like you're wearing a burqa. Like, I can't see you. Like, I hate it." And he got really upset at me. He was like, "You think I don't hate the way you dress? You think I don't hate how you look? You think I don't hate the way you're walking around showing off everything? Like, you think I don't hate it?" He got really upset. And I was like, "What do you mean? Like, it's my body." And he was like, "It's my body. I can wear whatever I want. You don't tell me what to wear. I won't tell you what to wear. Leave me alone." And he was like, "Otherwise, we could sit down and have a conversation about what I want you to wear and what you want me to wear, and I'll take off my baggage. But if you're gonna wear whatever you want, I'm gonna wear whatever I want." And I was really upset because I hated the Bekasha and I didn't have a response because he was right. And I was really upset. And for a long time, like every time that I would wear something he didn't like, he would be like not happy. And every time he wore the Bekasha, I would be like not happy. And then like eventually, like we just had it just finally came to a head and like both of us just got like it all came out. And I remember I was sitting on our bed and I was like, what are we gonna do?" Like, I was just crying. Like, I had gone to the room and I was like, I needed space. I had gone to the room and I was just crying and he came in and I was like, "What are we gonna do?" And he was like, "We're gonna be okay with each other. We're just gonna stop trying to tell each other what to wear. We're gonna be okay with it." And I was like, "Okay." And that's it. I told him I have a red line. I don't want him to take off his wedding ring. Um, and he said, "Okay, I have a red line that like I don't want my family to know. So don't post it on social media." Like how I'm dressing, and that was that.
Meaning about what part did he not want you to post on social media?
Like, I wouldn't post on social media, like, if I went like, if I would make it look like I was covering my hair, or I would not show that I was wearing pants, like, I would
Mhm,
only video from here up. Um, I had
mhm.
pink hair. I had pink hair. I have really curly hair, like really, really curly hair, and I
Mm,
dyed it like ombre pink, and it was so pretty and so cool. And I was walking around like I lived like whatever, I lived my life, and the community didn't care. Like he was rapped out, like I don't even know if they noticed. And I
mm.
just like, and I remember like it took us like I would say like 3 months for us to figure that out of like a lot of like not unhappiness. It doesn't
And
come in a second.
you had just had a baby,
At that point, yeah, I would also then also, like, I hated my
so you're
body, blah,
also
blah,
going
blah.
through that whole right, that whole postpartum piece plus oh my gosh, wow, it's a lot.
Yeah, it wasn't fun. Wasn't fun. By the way,
Okay,
when we
so in
moved
your
now he wants to
yeah.
wear a strimel, and he's starting to talk about a strimel, and I'm like, I don't have anything to say. Like, okay, let's wear a strimel. Makes you happy? Wear a
You do
strimel. I
you,
don't care. Do
buddy.
whatever. You do you.
I don't know what I would do if my husband came home and said he I'm not sure. I don't know how I
Uh,
feel about
I
that.
don't know.
I mean, whatever.
I
The
don't
truth is I wouldn't have a choice. He would do whatever he wants. That's part of marriage. It's okay.
exactly. It's his
I don't know.
body. It's his
Right.
body.
That's kind of what I'm saying. Like, I think there's a point where people have to remember that you guys are 2 adults and, like, yeah, you wanna discuss things with your spouse, but you don't have to, like you're not coming to them to, like, quote, unquote, "ask for permission" to, like, wear a strimel
Right.
or, like
But
but then
okay,
so then
yeah.
question
No, there's a
so
but.
then
We
my
have the same
question
but.
is,
Go for it.
but obviously the strimel, a strimel, period, whether it be your husband or anyone, does mean something. Meaning when you're walking in
Yeah.
the street and you see somebody wearing a strimel, that means something. So does that automatically become a reflection of the family dynamic, of the spouse, of that person? What do you think about that?
I don't think it has to. I really don't. Like, I think that people come to us for Shabbos sometimes, and like, I mean, all the time, and people are like a lot of times like pretty surprised because my husband will lead the table in like a rubbish, and he's very soft spoken and he's very calm, and I'm not. And I'm like, have this past Shabbos, I was like, I have questions about Yehuda tomorrow, and I want to know my answers. And what is this double
Oh, I
standard?
saw
And
that.
what is
I
this
saw your Instagram.
inconsistency? And I was like, and my husband was like he was like, I don't know, stop attacking the Torah. Like, I don't know what you want from my life. Like, he did not. He wasn't like, let's learn it together. You're so right. He wasn't like, no. He's like, this isn't my style of learning, and I don't enjoy it. Go learn with your friends. Like, so okay. So I have an Instagram account with 10,000 followers, and I learn with them, and it's extremely fulfilling, and I love it, and that's that. I don't have to learn with him, it's okay.
Right.
Well, like, our guests
I
were
hear
like,
you.
"Whoa."
Right. Or you find a rub that you can ask these questions and we'll negotiate with you and that's it, you know?
Right, and if I actually have, like, a real thing that I can't get through, that I can't figure out, then we'll set a time and we'll sit down and we'll learn it together, and I'll work on myself to, like, say it nicely in a way that he could, like, not feel attacked, and then we'll sit down and learn together, and we learn Gemara together once a week, and it's like, I love it. He's teaching me how to learn Gemara, but, like, overall, like, when I'm in my, like, passionate, like, I need to know, I need to know, I need to know. He like gives me space. He's like he can't handle it and he just gives me space. And it's okay.
Okay, but he knows what to do, so that's good.
Yeah.
In your opinion, what do you think must be shared in a healthy marriage?
So this is what I was gonna say before. Like the but is that there has to be like a red line, right? So my red line was don't take off your wedding ring. His red line was don't show my family. But like I think that there has to be in all of these stories of like there's me and I'm going to do what I want to do and you need to accept me. There's also the idea of like it's a red line. We live together. We need to respect each other. So there's going to be red lines. You have to do the work to make sure that your red lines are really your red lines. Like why is this important to me and then how can I accomplish that reason? Like so you have to be careful about it, but like you have to respect each other's red lines. So yes, there's an aspect of I'm going to do what I need to do. There's also an aspect of, like, if I could compromise for your red lines, I will.
Right. I think that definitely makes sense because at some point there has to be a balance where you can keep your individual values and bring that into your marriage as a whole. Like
Right.
what in your opinion, where do you find that balance?
So I think it's different for every single couple, but I think that there's an expectation. especially for somebody like people reached out to me with an expectation of like, well, my husband's not going to accept me if I just stop. Like, okay, I didn't like just stop. We sat down and each topic we had a conversation. With schools, we had a conversation. What's important to you in a school? What's important to you in a school? Let's find the school that has both of those things. Is it going to be the school that's like ideal for you? No. Is it going to be the school ideal for you? No. But it's going to be a school that fits both of our basic needs, and we're going to choose a school that fits our priorities. And like same thing with Shabbos, same thing with food. My husband said, I have a red line. There cannot be non-kosher food in my house. It's my home. I need my home to be kosher. You want to eat non-kosher food? Eat non-kosher food. But I need kosher food in my house. So for me, a person who has disordered eating, for me, the stress of finding food was like sometimes I needed to just eat so I wouldn't pass out. So I would eat in my car. I would get takeout and I would eat in my car, or I would eat on the porch, or I would go somewhere and eat, and I wouldn't feed the kids non-kosher food. Like, is it annoying? Yes. Did I feel like, oh my God, I just want to order takeout and eat in my bed? Yes, 100%. Is it worth my marriage?
But it was a hard boundary.
It's not worth pissing off the person I love. It's not worth making my husband feel unsafe in his house. Like, okay, I have to do something a little hard
Right.
so that I can have an amazing life.
Right.
That's just life.
It right. Agreed. No. If you had to um like think about this, do you feel that there are a couple of conversations that couples are avoiding to try to keep the peace within their marriages?
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations that couples are avoiding. There's women who really hate Shabbos because they're home alone a lot with the kids and they have to do so much. And there's a lot of expectations on women on Shabbos, and men love Shabbos because they like get served and they go to shul and they drink with their friends and they come home and their friends come for the meal and somebody serves them and they're treated like kings and they love it. And there's a lot of women who are really hate Shabbos and dread Shabbos and they hate the time alone and they hate the time with the kids and they hate the time serving and they're tired and they're exhausted and they hate it, but they're not saying anything. And that's like a big conversation that I hear all the time. Also, Nita is a big conversation that I hear a lot about. And like dress, like women sometimes, especially in the more Hasidic communities, feel like they just want to like have some individuality and expression, and they don't feel like they can. There's a lot of men who feel very,
Right.
um, like trapped because like like they got married when they were 18 to someone they met for 5 minutes, and they're like a little bit, they feel like a little bit like choked.
No, those are the
Um,
hardest ones for me.
there's a lot of conversations that are being avoided, and if you have them in a safe way, in a healthy way, your marriage will get so much better.
Right. So, in your opinion, as somebody who maybe not that exact experience, but has been through an experience like this, how were you able to have those hard conversations without like completely destroying what you guys do have for each other, like the core?
First of all, like, we fought a lot. We, like, it's nothing like I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna pretend like everything was fine. Like, I'm not. I'm an honest person. Like, there were nights where we slept in different rooms, and we were really angry at each other, and we were really upset, and we didn't know how we're gonna get through this. There were a lot of nights like that, and that's okay, because that's what led us to where we are today. I will say that now we learned how to fight, and we have some ground rules, and we wait 24 hours before we bring it up so that we're calm. Book in a time so that neither one of us is on our phone or busy with the kids or distracted. And we take
Mhm.
turns talking, and we don't talk about anything else except for the topic that we brought up. Like, we're not bringing in other things. We're not being like, and you never, and you always, nothing. This is something that upset me. Here's what I would wish happened. What do you have to say for yourself? And we don't talk over each other. We don't interrupt each other, and we don't call each other names. And we wait. I think the most important one is that we wait 24 hours so that if that, by then you're like, your like gut reaction of yelling is it went away.
Right. How did you even get to that space? Like, how did you get to that
Uh,
place? Meaning, okay, a lot of arguments are fighting, fine, but
Trial and error.
really? That's
Yeah.
genuinely like that's you just like tried you guys just tried everything like threw mud at the wall and whatever stuck type? It's okay. I'm just
It
wondering.
was like, yeah, it was like my husband was like, "You're talking about everything. Like, can you tell me what you're upset about? You're talking about so many things. Like, I can't figure out what you're upset about." So then I would like be like, "I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know." So then like 24 hours later, he'd be like, maybe, like, next time we could, like, try to focus, and then, like, maybe we could make a list. I have a notebook where I, like, would write. I don't do this anymore because, like, I whatever, calm down, but, like, I would write down the things that upset me and then would pick one, and we would only focus on that one, so, like, I wouldn't forget it. Um, but, like, my husband would get very defensive and, like, very combative when he was upset, like, he's a very smart man, so, like, it was hard to, like, talk to him if he had an idea in his head, so I was like, maybe he was like, "I can't listen to you and validate your experience right now, I'm very angry," and I was like, "Okay, so let's talk tomorrow." And then that's where the 24-hour thing came in. Like, it's a lot of trial and error, like,
And he was
I think people have this, like, this illusion that, like, it was all just roses and butterflies, like, no. It is now.
right. That's what I think also. No, but that's what I think right, but that's what I think also. But the thing is though, even if it would become like roses and butterflies, but with a couple of thorns, you guys have been through it already. You know how to navigate the thorns. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
That's where I think the
yeah,
problem lies right now in the Jewish in not even just the Jewish community, in community in the like in the world, is that people don't get that every single marriage has thorns. It's a question of like, do we go and like step on every
right,
single thorn and never deal with it? Because the thorns are not going away. Or do we learn how to navigate them as a couple instead of just, like, hurting ourselves all the time?
right, yeah, no, we still when I say it's all roses now, I don't mean that we don't disagree or, like, whatever. We obviously still have, like, arguments or get upset, but it's very much like we both don't even try. We just wait until we're both calm and talk about like, it's not even a havamina, like, we just go about our lives and continue our lives as if nothing happened, and the next day when we have a moment of quiet, we'll talk about it. Like, it's become, like, second
Right,
nature, and, like, we are already very good at that dance of, like, validating each
right.
other
But what's
without
amazing is
validating ourselves.
right, it's amazing that you guys were able to get there even through something that was, like could potentially have been, like, completely life-changing for your situation, you know?
Yeah, yeah. By the way, like, we didn't even talk about it, and I'm not gonna talk about it here, but, like, there's other things that also happened that them alone would have ended a marriage. I think that,
Right,
like, genuinely, if this is your person and you really love them, like, there's gonna be doubts. You're gonna ask yourself, "Should I have married them? Did I make a mistake?" Like, we all have that. We all are like, "Shoot, what do I do with my life?"
mhm,
Everyone has these moments, but, like, if you really think that this is a good person and you're like, life is not like, divorce is not easy. It's not that easy to get divorced. It's not that easy to share kids. It's not that easy to find someone new. Like, I really do believe that my best life is with him, and I'll figure it out. Even when I'm upset, even when I'm angry, I'll figure it out.
right.
We'll figure it out.
That's what I tell couples a lot, like, when I get a couple in my office, then they're like, "We're not sure what we wanna do, divorce is on the table." I'm like, "Okay, but just for clarity, like, both choices are hard. Staying together and being married is hard. Getting divorced and figuring it out is also hard. Like, you're not getting the easy way out by getting divorced. Still hard,
Right, and a lot
you
of
know?
people that get
So
divorced know that, and divorce is unfortunately something that is the because you need to be married. You need to have 2 parts of a marriage, and both need to be committed, and both need to wanna work on the marriage. So, if one person is saying, like, like, whatever, isn't in the same commitment level as you are, and sometimes, unfortunately, people have to get divorced. Divorce isn't a door, it's part of the door. Divorce is a thing, and sometimes it's the best thing. Sometimes it's the only way to have a peaceful family is to get divorced. But if there's an
right,
option to figure it out and to make it peaceful, it's so much better than
for
having to
sure.
figure out how to navigate a divorce. It's not always possible.
Right,
It's
for
not
sure.
always possible. Look at I run an
Right,
organization that helps women get divorced. It's not always possible. Sometimes divorce is a good thing, but
right,
if
right.
there's a
Sometimes it needs to
chance,
happen.
yeah.
Right. Okay, so I wanna make sure we get to the question that I know that you really wanted to address because 'cause you're getting it
Me?
a lot in your DMs.
Oh, I don't want to address
Yeah, in
it. No, no,
terms
no,
of
no,
the whole
no. The,
you don't wanna? You
I'm
sure?
happy. I'm happy to address it. I'm assuming you're
I
going to
think we
ask it
should because
because
I think it's a great question of
okay.
what do you do? Because again, on my page, we talk a lot about Taras Mishpacha and intimacy and things like that within a marriage. So, um, 100%. I mean, you shared that people are very curious. Like something like Taras Mishpacha is already very hard to keep when you're from. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
get a lot of people struggling with it when they're keeping whatever, whatever from means. I don't even know what that means, but you know what I mean. whatever from means, they're keeping the Tarash Mishpacha is already hard. So if you're already not from, and why Tarash Mishpacha, I know the answer. Maybe other people don't know the answer why Tarash Mishpacha is extremely important. But how did that play out within your marriage in terms of navigating this like huge difference between the two of you, but still keeping Taras Mishpacha? Because I could imagine of things that you would keep, that one's probably the hardest. You know what I mean?
Um, it wasn't the hardest. That's why I think it's hilarious that
Okay.
everybody is, like, so focused on, like, how'd you keep not Taras Mishpacha? Because it was really not the hardest. There were other ones that were a lot harder. Um, but there were a lot of other ones that were just, like, emotionally, like, harder. I think with Taras Mishpacha, it was so simple. It was like, this is his red line. His red line is that he's not going to be sleep with me if I don't go to the mikvah. That was his red line. So
Mhm.
I went to the mikvah. I gotta had to not have a woman like stay there and watch me dunk. And so that part was fine. I treated it as a spa day. I got my nails done, I got a massage, and I did a jacuzzi bath, and I went to the mikvah and I dunked for 2 seconds, and it was okay, and it was fine.
What about Harkachos?
Um, Harchakos, right? Harchakos. Well, first of all, mikvah is a big thing because we were like, I'm not going. So go.
No, but I mean, I'm not even
Harchakos.
thinking about the mikvah part, even though, yeah. But the Harchakos
So
are the part that I think people, I mean, I get,
Harchakos was like it wasn't such a big deal because for me, I needed my life to be normal. I was like, I cannot handle this, like putting a salt shaker on the table and not passing each other the baby and like this and that. I can't. I need my life to be normal. I'm sitting on the couch with my husband and watching a show. Bye. The Neville Doraisa is don't come close to revealing her nakedness. Like Aditya, that's the level of Doraita. We didn't do that. We didn't do things that would lead to something else. We didn't touch each other unless I was having a panic attack, and then he would, like, help me calm down, but we didn't touch each other. We didn't hold hands, we didn't snuggle, like, whatever. Was it hard for me? Yes. Did I sometimes tell him that he's a brainwashed idiot? Yes. But at the end of the
Mhm.
day, I respected the fact that this was important to him. Did I always do all the badikas? No. I told him to get out of my bathroom when I'm in there and he shouldn't tell me what to do, and he respected that. Was he happy about it? Was he unsure if this is kosher? Sure. He called his rab, figured it out. But I was like, don't police me. Don't stand in the bathroom and tell me what to do. And at the same time, like I respected the fact that this was a boundary that he had and he believes that it's real, so I'm gonna respect it. I think it's stupid, but who cares? It's it was like also, like, I think maybe it helped that, like, we have things nowadays where it doesn't you can manipulate it that it shouldn't happen as often. So, like, it
Right.
wasn't like 2 weeks, 2 weeks. And
It
that was
wasn't
what we
so
did.
bad. Right. Okay.
It wasn't so bad.
But I think that's the bottom line, though. I think that's the bottom line, though, because you had, regardless of how you feel about Frumke at that moment, you were doing it out of respect for your husband because you love him. That's the bottom
Right.
line. It didn't
It
really
was
have anything
nothing
to
to
do
do
with
with
like what
Hashem.
does the
And
Torah
nothing to do
say?
with Hashem.
Right.
No, I didn't tell us.
I think that's the space where, and it's interesting to me, like that's really like Azer Kenegdo. When you can get to a space where you're doing things just out of like yeah, you get a mitzvah, yeah, but whatever, but like you're really doing them because like I'm doing this because my husband thinks like this is so special and it's important to him. I think that in and of itself is very special. There are plenty of things that women think that even like sneas or things like that, where guys are like policing their wives over these types of things, and it's like you're not her dad. Like,
Can I
stop.
tell
You
you
know what
the
I
most
mean? Like,
beautiful thing? Like the most beautiful part
yeah.
of it? I really love Broadway shows. I really do. So for
Hmm.
our anniversary one year, I bought us tickets to the Lion King Broadway show.
Lion King.
And I'm so excited. And I was so excited and I surprised him. We went to the city for dinner and I surprised him and took him to a Broadway show to the Lion King. Didn't even cross my mind that he would be uncomfortable. Cause to me, it was like, we're in a Broadway show. Like, I don't know. And
Mhm.
he saw how excited I was. So we didn't say anything. And we sat in the Broadway show. I paid so much money for like tickets that, like, are, like, on the floor and, like, they come and they dance,
Mhm.
like, for you and he had his eyes, like, everywhere but the stage the entire time. The man sat in a
Oh,
Broadway show
wow.
for 3 hours in The Lion King, didn't say a word to me, was, like, enjoying it with me, had his arm around me, like, was super there with me, didn't look at the actors for a second because Shmira Zainayim. He didn't wanna look at them, they weren't dressed appropriately, they were dancing, they were singing, and he didn't wanna watch them. He didn't wanna make me feel bad. Afterwards, I didn't even realize it until, like, 2 years later, and I asked him if he wants to go to a Broadway show with me, and he was like, "I don't know, I'm not really so comfortable with Broadway shows." And I was like, "But you went with me to The Lion King." And he was like, "Well, I sat there, but I didn't wa" and I was like,
I
"Wait,
went with you,
what?"
but I didn't really go.
He did it in a way that I didn't even realize. Like, I didn't even know. And he later told me, and, like, eventually, when my 30th I think it was my 30th or my 31st birthday, he surprised me. He took me to a Broadway show, and I was like, "How are we going to a Broadway show?" I'm so excited because, like, we never went to a Broadway show again. And he took me to the Book of Mormon where there's, like, no girls. We watched the Book of Mormon. I was like, "There you go. We
He
found the
figured it
overlap.
out.
I love Broadway show." He figured it out. And it's, like, my favorite story because it
No, but
perfectly
you know what the
expresses it, like
fact it's amazing. The fact
yeah,
that he put in the effort to try to figure it out is amazing. That's what marriage is, putting
yeah,
an effort for the other person and the way that they need, not in the way you think they need or what you like. That's really what this is about. It's really about it's not about who's more from or it's really about putting in the effort for the other person in the way that they want to be loved, not in the way that you think they should want to be loved. It you know what I'm saying? Like
right.
that's really the core, I think.
Yep. Yeah, it's like a whole thing about the love languages, which is like, oh, like my love language is gifts and he never buys me gifts. And we were like, my love language is this, so I need to be loved this way. But really, if you're it's like the complete opposite. It's like his love language is acts of service. So that doesn't mean that I should do acts of service for him. I should. But what it means is that when he does acts of service, that's his way of saying I love you to me. And it's training my brain to read his love language as love. Not me saying give me, give me, give me, but me retraining how I view what he's doing for me. And for me, him pretending to watch a Broadway show is like the ultimate, like most
Right.
loving thing ever.
Right. No, what
That's
happens to
interesting.
be I explain that to couples a lot. It's very hard see, you're saying it I see exactly what you're saying, I say all the time. People try to love their spouse, like, let's say your husband's is words of affirmation. People try to love their spouse in the way that they wanna be loved, but sometimes it's subconscious. It's just because they happen to love that, so they're like, "Oh, so, like, she must love that." But no,
Right.
like, you have to learn to love the person in the way that they need. Yeah, will it also train you to give him his words of sure, agreed. But you have to be able to love the person in the way that they need, not in the way that you think they need. Do you know what I mean?
100%. 100,000,000%. I was talking to my friends, and we were like, "You know how in the olden days, women had periods and they would go to Nida huts? They would, like, live in a Nida hut when they had their period?" We were like,
Yeah.
"We should do that again.
Mhm.
We should do that again for, like, now, like, we should have, like, 3 girls buy an apartment on
Literally.
the
Do you
beach and,
mean
like"
like a women's retreat?
No, no, no. No, 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 no. Like,
Sounds
it's
like a
my
women's retreat,
apartment.
once a month.
No. No, I own an apartment. Me and 2 other girls split it. We buy an apartment on the beach. Whenever we have our period, we go there, whether it overlaps or not. We go there. That's our space. Nobody touches our stuff. Nobody walks in. Nobody eats our food. Nobody moves our blanket. Nothing. Everything is exactly the way I left it. And I'm gonna go to that apartment once a
Seriously.
month and I'm gonna hang out there. And I'm like, we should bring it back. Like, I need this back in my life.
Sounds like a vibe. I sounds like a vibe.
Everyone I
I'm
say it
in.
to
I'm
is like,
so
I'm
in.
ready.
Sounds
I'm
great.
in.
I live
Depends.
a needs
You
a hut slash
also have
apartment. Sounds great.
10 children.
Yeah, but still, like, ugh, I don't know. Kayla, thank you so much for joining. This was really,
Love that.
really,
Thank
really amazing
you.
and so insightful.
Yes, this
Thank you
was
so
fun. I like
much.
hanging out with you. We should hang out.
Looking forward to connecting in the future. We should. Come hang out with me. I know you're gonna be in my area. Come hang out with me. We'll have a good time. Maybe stay at my house. Be like, "Oh, I have this friend who lives in Florida. She told me that she
Are you gonna go
needs
to
me
my
to stay
Nita?
over
Are
for
you
the
gonna go to
week.
my
Like,
Nita
I'm
house?
sorry. Like, I'm just gonna have my meet." It's amazing. It's amazing. I'll make space for you. I'll make space for you. No problem.
Oh my
Make
god.
space for you.
Okay. Thank you,
All right,
Lauren.
Kayla,
I
thank you
appreciate
so,
it.
so much for coming and for your insights. Okay. Have a great day. We'll be in
Be
touch.
in touch. Have a good day. Bye.